George Clooney's been getting hormones racing on his latest visit to London to promote new film Tomorrowland. At the press conference, he told us that a film should entertain first, and then if you come out of it afterwards thinking about the themes, well, that's a bonus. Unfortunately, this film falls a bit flat on both fronts. The film opens with a clock counting down for 58 days, and I kind of felt like I was in the cinema for 58 days.
When I touched this pen, I saw this place. Someplace amazing. And it felt like anything was possible. And then it was gone.
It moves at a glacial pace. It's over 2 hours long, and we get some glimpses of Tomorrowland, but it takes us almost an hour and a half to actually get there. Director Brad Bird has already brought us the fantastically funny, smart, and snappy The Incredibles. He really does know how to make a family film that is entertaining for all ages. Unfortunately, this film is not one of them. George Clooney is convincingly crabby as a madcap inventor, but his character is purposefully bitter and twisted, and so the film wastes his considerable charm. There's a loose plot about a team of perky little robot children going around creating the world's biggest dreamers and inventors in order to create a better future. In fact, the film is based on Walt Disney's dreams for Tomorrowland, which became an actual theme park. And yet for a film called Tomorrowland, it's actually strangely old-fashioned. There are some lovely touches, like a space rocket exploding out of the Eiffel Tower, and the film so much wants to recapture that childlike sense of wonder of classic 1980s Spielberg films. The characters are purposefully goofy and the special effects are wonderfully technicolor, and yet it's somehow missing that charm. But even worse than that, for a family film, it's all kind of gloomy. The world is ending and there is so much talk about global warming, war, famine, starvation. It's a little bit of a downer. The talented cast absolutely do their best. Britt Robinson is fun and feisty as the girl who wants to change the world, a bit like a Jennifer Lawrence light. Hugh Laurie, as the grumpy and grouchy scientist, is pretty much his character in House. And yet again, we have a villain who basically thinks that humanity deserves what it gets. He may be right, but it's not great cinema. Newcomer Raffi Cassidy is beguiling as the mysterious child Athena. There's real pathos to her story, even if the subplot about unrequited love between her 12-year-old and the grown-up George Clooney becomes slightly awkward by the end. Most of all, this film wants to have a big message. But kids will just snooze off during the endless interminable discussions and examinations of how human nature is spoiling the world. Adults may well agree, but for a film that so badly makes us want to do better, I just ended up feeling guilty and then a little bit resentful for being made to feel guilty.
Hang on!
Ultimately, the film is too long, too worthy, and doesn't fit George's own criteria. It's just not entertaining enough. After the screening, I even heard the guy next to me saying, "Oh, I just wanted the world to hurry up and end." And somehow I doubt this is what the filmmakers were going for. I'm sorry, George, but I give this an underwhelming 2 stars.